Pace, are you just hanging out, bud? He's just hanging out. He's just having a comfy little time, sitting in the most awkward place on the couch that he could sit. There's, like, pillows back there. There's a blanket over here. He's like, no, I'm just choosing to sit just in the middle of the couch. He's like a dad watching football. He really thinks the Cowboys are gonna go all the way next season. He really thinks so. Hi, welcome back! Sorry I disappeared for like most of December and then all of January. I did mean to come back in January, and I did record a video, but I was kind of sick while I was recording it, and I don't know if I ever like comprehended how sick I was at that point in time, because I was like, I'll record this video, it'll be a quick little guy, and then like I'll edit it when I'm feeling better. And then I didn't feel better for like 2 weeks. Yikes. But then also I found that when I went back to edit it, I was like, this is nearly incomprehensible. This is nothing. What I've done, what I did there was nothing. So now I'm back. It's much later in January. Paste is hanging out with me to talk about what my goals for 2025 are, as well as like how we're getting started off on the right foot. Hi, I'm B. Hawthorne. I'm a writer. Let's talk goals. Goals are kind of the bane of my existence because I think most of them are bad. And the ones they make you set like in school or at your jobs are also kind of bad. If I have to set one more SMART goal, I'm gonna lose my mind. And I especially don't like New Year's goals, like New Year's resolutions. It's just like a year is so long, guys. A New Year's resolution I feel like just sets yourself up to fail because like a year is a long time. So we're bucking the trend, and I'm gonna be setting myself some little like quarterly quests. I like to call them quests because I like to gamify my life, and I'm a dirty little goblin gamer. So what is a quarterly quest? Quarterly quest happens in 3 months or less. The goals you have to set to do like a good little quarterly quest, your little quest objectives have to be by nature pretty small. Pretty bite-sized goals, which makes them way more achievable. For example, if I wanted to set a goal of like, I want Rope Salesman to be query ready by the end of the year, that's like a big goal. There's so many different drafts of Rope Salesman that need to be done before I can even start to think about writing a query letter. That's crazy. But if I say, I want to get a draft of Rope Salesman to my beta readers by March 31st, that's achievable, babes. That's a small, little achievable goal. That means I need to finish 1, maybe 1.5, or maybe 2 drafts of Rope Salesman within 3 months. Done. It's a novella. It's like 25,000 words. That's not difficult. I can do that. So that is, by the way, that is my like first quarterly quest, is I want to send Rope Salesman to my beta readers by the end of March, which means I need to finish up the current draft I'm on. I have maybe 2,000 to 3,000 more words left in that one, depending on how heavy of rewrite I need to do. And then I need to do some cleanup. I don't know if it'll count as a full other draft, but I definitely need to do some cleanup and spruce up before I send it to my beta readers. Simple, easy, to the point. Alright, my other quarterly quest is I want to develop another short story or novella. So, what this means is I'm not gonna go through all the stages of like first drafting all of these, but I want to develop 3 other either short stories or novellas, things that I can then work on and choose to work on throughout the rest of the year. Development of an idea and story is like it's not something I've ever really done before, so you're gonna come along with me on that quest to figure out how to develop something, but also just like that feels like that's a step I can take to start beefing up my body of work and getting things more well-rounded for me, because I feel like short stories and novellas are gonna be that's gonna be my lane, so I feel like I should start figuring out how to beef up all my offerings within my lane. My other quarterly quest, my third quarterly quest, my final one, is I'm gonna be developing my own website. I don't know if this will be for like personal use or if it'll be more of like an author website type thing. I haven't even figured out really what I want to do with that yet, but I do want to like get something on the internet and like sit on the URL and everything. I do just want to get these things ready and done with just so I have them for whenever I need them. Aw, hi, bud. You're such a strange little cat. You're such a weird little guy. So that's just my little quarterly quests for the first quarter of 2025. I think I'll probably do little tiny update videos, or I'll drop the updates in other videos as we go along, just so you guys can sort of like keep abreast of my like little quarterly quests, and we'll see what's going on. I also did want to do a quick shout out to like the habits that make quests happen and like successful, because I feel like a lot of times we set these goals and then we're like, I don't know where to start, right? So like, for example, a habit of mine is that I write 200 words a day. It's very, like, it's small. I can get it done in like 10 to 15 minutes if I really need to. And if I do it on literally any of my projects, it still counts. If I write 200 words of fucking fan fiction, it counts. But that develops my, number one, writing muscles, because writing is a muscle that you do need to develop and work out over time. But also, it just makes it so that my brain automatically makes time for writing, and so that does things like make drafts of my pieces go faster because I'm working on them more. Even if it is just 200 words, usually I feel like writing more after that. So it helps a ton. I super advise you guys to like make a small, achievable habit. Habits that are hard to do are great, but like habits that are tiny work longer and they work better, especially for me, or if you're somebody who has like an ADHD, it's much easier to do a smaller throwaway habit. So what are your guys' quarterly quests gonna be? Again, super recommend breaking down your yearly goals into little quests. Next time, I will be sort of reintroducing you, I think, to the Rope Salesman now that I've gotten through a full draft. I think we're gonna do a little reintroduction as we talk about what I'm gonna do to revise this before I send it out to my beta readers. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Leave down in the comments below, what are your little like quarterly quests? What's your little side quest this year? I also like, yeah, quarterly quests are fun. Get like a weird goofy side quest. Last year, I got really good at making charcuterie boards. That's not even a joke. I did get really good at making charcuterie boards, and that was like a silly little side quest throughout the year. So what's your like actual writer goals? What's your little like quarterly quest? But also like, what's your silly goofy side quest? Do a silly one, y'all. Essential part of life, doing a silly one sometimes. Hey guys, remember when I said over like the Christmas break I was gonna read that one Robert Jackson Bennett novel? I ended up reading 3 of them. I ended up reading 3 of them in like 2 days.